David was born in a farm located near Henryville, Indiana. When he was 6 years old, his father passed away. His mother had no choice but to work, sewing clothes to other families and peeling tomatoes in a factory. Harland had to look after his younger siblings and also cooking. At the age of 7, Harland could cook bread, vegetables, and getting better in preparing meat. Some days Harland would stay awake till 11 or 11:30 at night cooking. When he turned 10 years old, he started working in a farm. This was his first job. There were many animals in the farm. As a kid, he got distracted towards them and got fired from job in just a month. His mother, Margaret Ann Sanders, she said to him, "Here you are, my oldest son. Your father's dead and you're the only one I can look to for help with the other children. And you're no account. You can't even hold a job at $2 a month." Ashamed from losing job and disappointed his mother, and he told that I'll work harder the next time I get a job. At the age of 12, his mother married a man who didn't want to live with stepchildren, so after a year he left home and worked in farm. He went to school in day and worked evening. At the age of 13, he dropped his 7th grade in just 2 weeks, and he continued to work in farm. After several years, he worked as a streetcar conductor, soldier, railroad fireman, tire seller, steamboat operator, and a lawyer. His first wife, Josephine King Sanders, left with her children as he got fired from job many times. In 1924, Harland had no money to travel in bus, so he asked a car lift in road. Harland was in job hunt, and he was lucky. The guy who drove the car was a general manager of Standard Oil and Gas Company and offered Harland a job. Later, they had to shut down the company due to some reasons. Fortunately, another oil and gas company, Shell, offered him to run the business. Harland prepared meals for his customers with only a single table which could feed 6 people. At first, he started with ham, okra, green beans, and a fried chicken, which became famous eventually. People started liking his recipe. As he gathered many customers, he had to open a restaurant which could feed nearly 140 people. It took 30 minutes to pan-fry a chicken. Customers couldn't wait so long. He started to deep fry, but the chicken was uncooked, and a new invention, pressure cooker, came into the market. Harland bought it and tried many ways to cook, finally made a pressure-fried chicken with perfectly cooked chicken. This technique reduced time from 30 to 10 minutes. At beginning, he seasoned the chicken with only pepper and salt and several other spices. He tried some new spices, and he called it his recipe of 11 herbs and spices. In 1949, he made his second marriage with Colonel Sanders and looked after the restaurant. The highway which passed front of his restaurant changed its route. As the traffic was less and customers were rare, he decided to sell his restaurant in 1956 for $75,000 for half price than what it actually costs. As he was 60 years old, government decided to give him a check of $105 every month as pension. He wasn't satisfied in his life and went under depression. He sat under a tree writing a suicide letter, and suddenly he came up with the idea of starting KFC in 1950. Kentucky Governor Lawrence Weatherby gave him the title Kentucky Colonel, as his fried chicken was famous in Kentucky. He prepared the chicken with 11 herbs and spices and traveled many countries to show his recipe, and he was rejected 1,009 times. Finally, a man offered him to prepare his chicken recipe in his restaurant and gave him $0.04 for each chicken sold. The Kentucky Fried Chicken became very famous. By the time 1963, there were 600+ branches in the US and Canada. As he was getting old, he sold his company for $2 million in year 1964 to John Y. Brown and Jack C. Massey and stood as a board member. He would go to his restaurants and check if the chicken tastes good or not. He was donating money to healthcare and died in 1980 at the age of 90.